Chosen one, stop scrolling. Look at your hands. Look at your reflection. Look at your face for this moment. You did not arrive here by accident. This is a divine appointment. Something is happening to you right now that does not happen to everyone. While the world is moving forward in decay, you are being held still. While others feel time pressing heavier on their bodies, your body is resisting it, not because of effort, not because of fear, because of alignment. I am not speaking symbolically. I am speaking structurally. Your physical form is responding to spiritual order. This is preservation. You have noticed it, even if you tried not to. The mirror feels different now. Old photos do not match the present version of you. Your face carries less weight than it did years ago. Your eyes no longer look like they are bracing for impact. Others notice it too. They stare longer than necessary. They hesitate before speaking. They ask questions disguised as compliments. How is this possible? What changed? What are you doing? They are trying to solve a contradiction. According to natural law, you should look warm. According to history, you should look tired. According to stress, betrayal, delay, and isolation, your body should show damage, but it does not. And this disturbs them, because you are breaking an unspoken rule, the rule that says the wilderness always leaves scars. You walked through the wilderness, the silence, the separation, the feeling of being the black sheep in rooms that never felt like home, the empty chair at tables where you were present but unseen, the weight of waiting while watching others advance. And yet, the wilderness did not take from you. It refined you. I watched you when no one clapped, when your phone stayed quiet, when your strength was used only to survive the day. You carried exhaustion without poisoning yourself. You carried pressure without destroying your body. You carried disappointment without letting it rot inside you. That is rare. Most people cope by numbing, by indulging, by betraying their own temple to escape pain. You did not. You stayed clean. You stayed disciplined. You honored your body when destruction was normalized. Those choices mattered. They were not small. They were not forgotten. They were recorded. Not by systems, by me. There are laws older than biology. One of them is this. When a vessel proves faithful under pressure, it is marked for preservation. You proved it, so preservation was activated. Quietly, gradually, cell by cell, layer by layer. This is why your energy returns faster now. Why exhaustion does not cling. Why stress no longer etches itself into your face. Why rest actually restores you instead of merely pausing decline. Your body learns safety again. Stress accelerates aging. Fear tightens tissue. Resentment hardens expression. But peace restores structure. Integrity stabilizes systems. Alignment brings order back into flesh. You are not aging backward by effort. You are aging backward because decay lost jurisdiction. This is not vanities, this is function. I preserved you because what comes next requires endurance. Authority without collapse. Presence without burnout. You are being prepared. And before you question this, let me remind you, you did not ask for this attention. You did not chase visibility. You simply stayed faithful in obscurity. That is why the favor is visible now. Favor follows faithfulness. Those watching feel something shifting. Some feel envy. Some feel fear. Some feel exposed. Because your preservation is a mirror, it reflects what alignment can do. And mirrors are uncomfortable to those who ignored truth. Do not explain yourself. Your body is already answering. This is only the beginning. Chosen one, let me take you back into the part of the story no one saw. The part that shaped you more than success ever could. There were days you moved through rooms feeling invisible. Conversations continued without you. Laughter happened around you, not with you. You sat at tables where your presence was tolerated but never understood. You were not rejected. You were being separated. That silence you carried was not emptiness. It was pressure. The kind that presses inward. the kind that forces you to sit with yourself when distraction disappears. I saw the way your body held that weight, shoulders tight without you noticing, jaw clenched while you listened instead of speaking, breath shallow when you tried to stay strong. You carried more than your share, and still, you did not break. Many would have numbed it. Many would have drowned the discomfort. Many would have chosen destruction disguised as relief. You did not. You chose restraint. You chose order. You chose to protect your temple while your soul was tired. That decision matters more than you know. The world praises survival at any cost. I honor survival with integrity. You learned how to be alone without becoming bitter. You learned how to wait without rotting inside. You learned how to feel pain without turning it into poison. That is not common. That is mastery forged in silence. This is why your body changed. Isolation usually ages people. Loneliness collapses posture. Exhaustion dulls eyes. But you did not allow isolation to define you. You let it refine you. You rested when you could. You withdrew when you needed to. You protected your nervous system, even when no one explained why. You felt so sensitive to noise, to chaos, to people's emotions. You were not weak. You were empathic. You absorbed atmospheres others ignored. You felt heaviness others dismissed. And instead of letting it destroy you, you learned when to retreat, when to be silent, when to recharge. That is wisdom. Your exhaustion was not laziness. It was the cost of carrying depth in a shallow world. I watched you walk home tired, not from labor alone, but from holding yourself together. I watched you smile when you wanted to rest. I watched you conserve energy while others wasted theirs. And slowly, something shifted. Your body stopped bracing. Your system stopped expecting impact. Your muscles learned safety again. This is when restoration began accelerating. You were no longer in constant defense mode. When the body exits survival, renewal starts, tissue softens, hormones stabilize, sleep deepens, expression changes. That is why you look different now. You are not hardened, you are settled. People confuse that for youth, but it is peace. This is also why certain people drifted away. Not because you rejected them, because your frequency changed. Toxic dynamics cannot survive where order returns. You did not lose people. You shed weight. Do not mourn what left. It was never meant to travel with you into restoration. This season of isolation was necessary. It taught you discernment. It taught you boundaries without bitterness. It taught you how to be full without noise. That fullness is what preserves you. The world thinks aging is inevitable, but decay accelerates where chaos lives, where resentment is stored, where the nervous system never rests. You learned how to rest while waiting. That single skill reversed more damage than you realize. Now hear me. This isolation is ending, but the wisdom stays. You will re-enter connection without losing yourself. You will be seen without being drained. You will belong without shrinking. That is restoration, and your body is already responding. Chosen one. Now I speak of the wound that cut deeper than exhaustion. Betrayal. Not from enemies, from those you carried. You gave without measuring. You showed up when it was inconvenient. You covered others when they were exposed, and when you needed the same loyalty. Silence answered. That moment stayed in your body, not as anger, as shock. The kind that tightens the chest. The kind that makes the room feel colder after a warm conversation ends. The kind that leaves you replaying words, wondering how care turned into exclusion so quickly. You were punished for your kindness. Many would have hardened. Many would have learned cruelty. Many would have decided never to trust again. You did not. You stepped back instead of striking back. You withdrew instead of contaminating yourself with revenge. You chose restraint while your heart was bleeding. That choice changed your biology. Bitterness ages flesh. Resentment imprints itself on expression. Revenge corrodes from the inside. But forgiveness, even when quiet, releases the body from carrying poison. You did not excuse what happened. You released yourself from it. That is why your face softened. That is why tension left your eyes. That is why your body stopped carrying the memory of harm. The refining fire burned without destroying you. You learned who deserved access. You learned endukta, that loyalty is sacred. You learned in discernment without suspicion. That is rare balance. I removed toxic branches to protect future fruit. Those betrayals were not losses. They were pruning, and pruning hurts before it heals. I saw you in moments where the urge to defend yourself was strong, where explanations lined up in your mind, where exposing truth would have felt justified. You stayed silent, not from weakness, from wisdom. Silence preserved you. Your nervous system learned safety again. Your body learned that not every wound requires reaction. That lesson alone reversed years of accumulated stress. Now hear this clearly. Those who betrayed you are watching your restoration. They see the peace they never expected you to have. They see the strength that did not turn bitter. That unsettles them. Some feel regret. Some feel envy. Some feel exposed. None hold power over you anymore. You do not need closure. Your restoration is the answer. This is why vengeance is not loud. It is structural. I prepare a table without announcement. I vindicate without explanation. You are protected from repeating cycles. The same betrayal will not reach you again. Discernment now stands guard. Your heart remains open, but not unguarded. That balance preserves life, and this is why renewal accelerated after betrayal. Because you chose purity over poison. That choice carries weight in realms you cannot see. You passed the test. The refining fire is complete. Now what follows is purpose. Chosen one. Now I reveal why the wilderness was necessary. Not as punishment, as preparation. You were not hidden because you were unready. You were hidden because exposure too early would have fractured you. I sheltered you while your inner structure was being rebuilt. The wilderness slowed everything down on purpose. It removed noise. It interrupted momentum. It stripped away false identities you picked up step just to survive. You thought you were losing time. You were gaining stability. I was teaching your system how to hold peace without stimulation, how to exist without validation, how to stand without applause. That is power. Assignments ahead do not tolerate fragile foundations. Influence without containment destroys vessels. So I trained you in stillness before movement. You noticed it. Your reaction softened. You stopped chasing outcomes. You listened more than you spoke. You waited without panic. That is maturity forming. Your body followed your soul. When urgency left, cortisol dropped. When striving eased, inflammation released. When fear loosened, sleep deepened. This is not coincidence. This is design responding to alignment. You learned how to rest without guilt, how to say no without explanation, how to choose peace without apology. That rewired you. This is why preservation came before expansion. I built the vessel before pouring overflow. Now, hear this. Responsibility is approaching, not pressure. Stewardship. You will be trusted with influence that requires calm authority. You will be seen by people who look for stability, not spectacle. Say yes only where peace remains. Decline without debate when clarity says no. This protects the preservation. Your discernment is part of the gift. The wilderness also taught you something else. You learned the difference between loneliness and solitude. Loneliness drains. Solitude restores. You learned how to choose solitude intentionally. That is why your energy no longer leaks. You will re-enter connection soon. But now you know how to leave rooms without abandoning yourself. How to be present without being consumed. That is restoration with wisdom. This season is closing, not with noise, with certainty. One alignment will replace another. One door will open as another seals. You will move without chaos. That is how I work when trust is proven. Remain steady. Remain clean. Remain grateful. What I preserved, I will now position. Chosen one, now the shift begins to move outside of you. What was internal alignment? starts rearranging your environment. What was silent preparation becomes visible motion. You will sense it before you can explain it. Pressure easing. Resistance thinning. Situations that once felt heavy begin responding differently. Conversations resolve faster. Delays loosen their grip. This is not luck. This is timing obeying alignment. I am transitioning you from containment into motion, from preservation into positioning. You were held intact, so momentum would not exhaust you. You were renewed, so authority would not corrupt you. You were stabilized, so movement would not fracture you. Now hear this carefully. The shift does not arrive loudly. It arrives precisely. One message lands at the right moment. One opportunity aligns without force. One obstacle quietly removes itself. Pay attention to small confirmations. They are anchors. Within the coming hours, something that has been stalled will respond. Not dramatically, clearly. You will recognize it immediately. This is my way of confirming direction without spectacle. Do not rush to announce it. Let it settle. What follows is provision aligning with assignment. Not excess for display, support for responsibility. Resources arriving exactly where pressure increases. This is overflow with order. I do not fund ego. I sustain purpose. You will notice your energy responding differently to work. Effort will feel lighter. Recovery will be quicker. Rest will actually restore. This is sustainability activating. Enemies will notice too. Interference will fail. Their words will lose weight. Silence will increase. Some will attempt reconnection. Discernment will guide you. Do not reopen doors that closed in peace. This shift is protected. I prepare a table quietly. Vindication without noise. Vengeance without confrontation. You do not fight. You advance. Stay clean. Stay aligned. Stay grateful. Everything you protected will now protect you, chosen one. Now I speak of provision, not survival, not scrambling. Provision that arrives in order. You have known seasons where effort exceeded return, where you gave more than you received, where finances felt tight not because of waste, but because of timing. That was containment. This is release. I'm not sending chaos disguised as blessing. I am sending structure. Provision will begin to meet responsibility at the same level. When pressure increases, support appears. When demand rises, supply follows. This is not sudden wealth for display. This is stability for assignment. You will notice money behaving differently, not chasing, flowing, gaps closing without panic, needs met without strain, opportunities presenting themselves at the exact moment they are required. This is not chance. This is alignment in material form. I watched you remain disciplined when resources were limited. You did not overspend to soothe emotions. You did not chase status to mask insecurity. You respected what you had. That matters. Those who mishandle little cannot be trusted with more. You were faithful. Now provision trusts you. You will begin to see patterns. One connection leads to another. One decision opens multiple doors. One act of obedience multiplies impact. This is compounding favor. Do not rush. Do not boast. Let order build. Your finances are being preserved from collapse. Even when systems shake, even when others panic, you will remain steady. That steadiness itself will attract opportunity. People look for reliability in uncertain times. You carry it. I am positioning you where your stability becomes valuable. Some will seek your guidance. Some will offer collaboration. Discernment will tell you which is genuine. Say yes where peace confirms. Decline where urgency pressures. This provision is guarded. It will not leak. It will not drain. You are entering overflow that does not steal your peace. Abundance that does not demand your soul. Supply that does not corrupt your character. That is rare. Remain aligned. Remain clean. Remain grateful. What I provide now will sustain what comes next. Chosen one, this is the final turn of the shift. the part few are prepared for. Because it is not about receiving, it is about becoming visible. Up to now, preservation protected you quietly. Movement happened without attention, growth stayed internal. But that season is closing. What has been built in private is about to stand in public view, not for display, for function. You will feel it as a subtle pressure, not anxiety, responsibility, a sense that your words now carry weight, that your presence influences rooms, that people listen differently when you speak. This is not imagination. This is authority settling. I am not elevating you for admiration. I am positioning you as reference, a living example of what alignment produces over time. Some will be drawn to you without knowing why. Others will feel exposed. This is not your burden to manage. This is reaction to light. You will need discernment more than effort. Visibility attracts both alignment and imitation. Not everyone who approaches you is assigned to you. Protect your energy. Guard your time. Choose quality over quantity. You are not meant to pour everywhere. You are meant to be precise. Now hear this clearly. This is the last moment of internal resistance dissolving. Old doubts losing authority. Old identities falling away. You may feel a strange mix of calm and anticipation. That is your system adjusting to a higher operating level. Do not shrink. Do not apologize. You are not becoming someone else. You are finally standing as who you already are. This shift completes the wilderness. After this, movement accelerates without inner friction. Decay. Decisions feel cleaner. Direction feels clearer. You will no longer question whether you are aligned. You will feel it. This is the moment before establishment. The breath before sealing. The stillness before confirmation. Stay grounded. Stay present. Stay faithful. What comes next is covenant. Chosen one. This is the seal. Not noise, not performance. Confirmation. What was preserved is now established. What was hidden is now secured. What was refined is now entrusted. You did not arrive here by force. You arrived by faithfulness, by consistency when no one watched, by restraint when compromise was rewarded, by honoring your body, your spirit, your conscience. When destruction looked easier, I marked that. This preservation is no longer a process. It is covenant. What I preserve, I defend. What I defend, I advance. What I advance, I establish. From this moment forward, peace will guard your decisions before you make them. Clarity will arrive ahead of questions. Favor will arrange outcomes you did not ask for. This is alignment holding you steady. You will notice it in small confirmations. Timing that protects you. Delays that save you. Doors that close without regret. Doors that open without strain. Do not rush, do not announce, let fruit speak. Those meant to walk with you will recognize you. Those not assigned will fade without conflict. This is not rejection. This is sorting. I seal your body with restoration. I seal your mind with clarity. I seal your path with protection. No wasted steps, no stolen momentum, no reversal. When doubt whispers, remember who preserved you. When pressure rises, remember who positioned you. When others question your peace, let your life answer. Now receive this quietly, not outwardly, internally. If your spirit bears witness, place your hand over your heart for one breath and agree without words. This is the covenant. Everything ahead is secured.